received, and everybody had a decent takeaway from the session that we had. So I just thought, like, it would be nice that if all of us have a professional touch to the most important subject, that is trading psychology, with all of us, rather than speaking on our own experience. I can speak from my own experience, but they may not be applicable to everyone. So I thought of having him, and I know for sure he is doing really well in the fundamental side, and it's really nice to have him over here. And
नहीं पड़ेगा, पानी डाल के प्रॉब्लम है. बोल मैडम को. बोल मैडम को. Mark Douglas to Adrian to Brett Steenberger, Robert Koppel. So out of all this, I have distilled my own logic, and I've tried to work out a practical solution of how to handle these emotions. So now when we come to this, what according to me the weightage of trading success, there are three parts to it. One is technicals and money management. Now technicals everyone is aware, and Asit sir has already been teaching you how to spot stocks, how to buy, how to sell. So that is one part where everyone is aware. The second important aspect is money management, is how much to buy. What is your portfolio allocation? What's your asset allocation strategy? How much risk are you going to take in one trade? How are you going to diversify your risk? Are you a concentrated trader, or you a trader who diversifies their risk? So the proportion of technicals plus money management, according to me, is around 15%. The second part is, if you are an investor, fundamentals plays a role. So role of fundamental in selecting a right stock, right sector is around 15%. And even if you're not following either, there could be people who follow fundamental in toto or technicals in toto, or there could be investors who do a combination of both technicals and fundamentals. Either way, whichever way you buy, whichever way you invest or trade in a market, the true parts is, one is you have to buy a stock, and you have to buy when to buy a stock and how much to buy a stock. But these three factors consist only 30% according to me, because going and buying, going and trading, going and selling, executing your ideas, the biggest stumbling block is your mindset. It is a trading psychology. So according to me, the 70% is the core problem. Whereas what we are focusing more, not that 30% is important, not important, 30% is equally important, because without those technicals, fundamentals, money management, you won't be able to come down to a level where what stock to buy and when to buy and how much to buy. But the most important thing is to go and buy. So what happens is, when the market opens 9:15 and it continues to 3:30, we as traders or we as investors are a totally different animal. We are governed more by emotions, because the price movements, the volatility in price action brings in a lot of emotions within us. These emotions are very common emotions everyone faces every day. It is fear, it is greed, it is panic, it is euphoria. These are the four common emotions which we experience day in and day out. The other aspects of emotions could be a variant of these emotions. There could be a fear of missing out. There could be a emotion where you do revenge trading. You have lost money in Tata Steel or DLF. You'd like to recover back your money from DLF and Tata Steel. So that is something called as a revenge trading. Again, revenge trading we do, the primarily reason for a revenge trading is again because of our psychology. So understanding psychology, understanding our emotions and how to overcome these emotions is everything to deal with psychology. So today I am not either going to tell you a system or a strategy or a tip what to buy, when to buy, how much to buy. I'll be just focusing on assuming you know everything, what to buy, when to buy, how much to buy. To go and buy, you don't need information beyond a point. You need guts. You need confidence, you need conviction to hold on to your trade. And when you are lost, when you are having a loss, you have to cut your stop losses, overcome your ego and exit a trade in loss. And in case it is running into profit, the temptation of booking early profits or the temptation of booking profits, instead of doing that, now we are running into greed. So these are the basic emotions which every trader faces every day, day in and day out. So Coming to the next slide, the best investment is always on yourself. I'll spend around 5 minutes on this part because this is a nutshell and experience of a trader who is a multi-millionaire trader, maybe even a billionaire trader. He spent around 10 years, 20 years in trading. He was a participant of Van Tharp, who was an excellent trading coach in US. Unfortunately, he died very recently, 3-4 months back. So he was a super trader participant. And this is what his experience was. A top trader spent 15 months working 20 to 30 hours per week, purely working on himself, because he realized that he is the biggest link between analysis and action, between analysis and execution. And during this journey, he looked deep within himself, processed submerged emotions, revisited traumatic experiences, dissolved limiting beliefs, and embraces NLP. NLP is basically neuro-linguistic programming. I'll talk about it a bit later, and energy healing and more. He says it was a highly exhaustive endeavor. So he transitioned, and what was the result of doing all this work?
Sir, just to sir, if you can just do shift kind of the slideshow kind of thing, maybe to increase the slides font.
The size of slide.
मतलब इसको ये slideshow में डाल दीजिए. I think that will be more clearer.
अच्छा, okay.
In the presentation.
Okay. Slideshow.
Shift F5 we can do.
Shift F5. Okay.
Yep,
so
perfect.
So now what happened after this super trader worked on himself? He transitioned from self-centered, insecure and uncertain about life to awakened, emboldened and inspired to brightly illuminate the world. So we won't be able to understand in 30 seconds or 1 minute what exactly he did, but after 4 sessions, we will be able to understand what exactly this trader means when he says the best investment is always on yourself. So hold on, that you may not have absorbed everything what this guy says, but I'm pretty sure by the end of this session, or at least the end of 3 or 4 sessions, you will be able to understand what the super trader participant says when he says the best investment is always on yourself. Okay. Now there are 4 parts what I have divided when you say you're working on yourself. Strengthening useful beliefs. Now, what is a belief? Belief is something, a deep conviction which you have about yourself. For example, lot of traders would have beliefs. Tata Steel mein kabhi paisa nahi banta, because he has lost 4 or 5 times in Tata Steel. So he slowly develops this belief that he can never make money on Tata Steel. Or similarly, a trader can he might be having a belief that every Friday he makes a lot of money, or every Friday he makes a lot of losses, on the basis of experience for the last a few trading sessions. So belief is the most important part what every trader keeps in his mind. I'll tell you a very simple and practical example of what a belief means. All these terrorists have a very strong belief that if we go and kill the people, they'll go to heaven and have a wonderful future. So they are killing people just because they have this belief. Now, belief could be a good belief or a bad belief. But beliefs, once you have this belief, so that belief becomes a part of your DNA. So when we want to become a successful trader, the first thing what we have to do is we have to strengthen useful beliefs. Now, what do useful beliefs? You have to believe that you are a successful trader. You have to believe that you earn trading profits consistently. You have to believe that you are able to cut your stop losses without any ego, without any hesitation, instantly, moment you realize that you are wrong. What are your non-useful beliefs? That Tisco doesn't give me a profit. Now, Tisco doesn't know who is trading his stock. For Tisco is irrelevant whether a Rakesh Jhunjhunwala buys Tisco or a XYZ buys Tisco. So what we will do through some exercises is how to install useful beliefs and how to remove non-useful beliefs. The third part is processing stuck emotions. This is the most important part which you will realize once I explain you the next few slides, what do I mean by processing stuck emotions. Now, human beings are a bundle of emotions. We have emotions of fear, we have emotions of regret, we have emotions of rejection, frustration, disappointment, worry, stress, grief, sadness. All these are emotions because of several experiences that we go through in our daily life, in our trading career, and also in our general life. So one of the most important exercises any trader has to do, he has to process his stuck emotions. If you are always regretting a bad trade, or if you are always fearing that the next trade would be a losing trade, if you don't have the conviction to put in a trade because of your past experiences, what we are experiences is we are stuck with stuck emotions. So we won't be able to move forward until unless we process these stuck emotions. So processing stuck emotions is a very important part. And now when a trader says उसको fear है, उसको greed है, उसको panic है, aware तो हो गया है, but how to process this? इसके लिए एक बड़ा practical process ढूंढा हुआ है, which is a very empowering process and needs little bit of hard work in terms of daily practice. Practicing say 15 minutes a day or half an hour a day. The more you practice, the better you will be. You will be able to process your stuck emotions. अब आपको किसी से anger है, so how do you process your anger? Anger तो मन में ही रह गया. So until you process this anger, the anger doesn't move out of your system. So it is important that we process these emotions so that when we go to trade, we go with a clean slate of mind, with in a stage where our mind and body is in perfect harmony. जब ये emotions stuck हो जाते हैं, our mind and body are not in perfect harmony. The fourth part is removing conflicts between body parts. ये भी theory में थोड़ा अजीब सा लगेगा, but when we come to practical level, you will find it very, very interesting and very, very appealing. अब what do you mean by conflicts between different body parts? अब हम बोलते हैं कि माइंड और बॉडी एक है, हार्मोनी में होनी चाहिए. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, वन वांट्स टू ईट वेरी टेस्टी फूड, तो टंग हैज अ टेस्ट बड्स व्हिच दे वांट अ टेस्टी फूड, बट देन द माइंड आल्सो सेज ईटिंग दिस कैलोरी रिच फूड इज नॉट गुड फॉर हेल्थ. तो एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो गया. तो जब भी ये हमारे में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, एक इमोशन एक तरफ पुल करता है, दूसरा इमोशन दूसरे तरफ पुल करता है, तो हमें बॉडी और माइंड की हार्मोनी के लिए ये इमोशंस के कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स खत्म करना जरूरी है. तो दैट इज व्हाट आई मीन बाय रिमूविंग कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स विद इन डिफरेंट बॉडी पार्ट्स. If anyone has read the autobiography of George Soros, who was one of the most world successful trader, he says जब भी ट्रेडिंग में उसको बड़ा लगता है कि बहुत बड़ा फॉल आने वाला है, उसको बैकएक शुरू हो जाता है. So his body also starts telling him something is wrong, something is going to happen in the market. तो ये सारे जब इमोशंस प्रोसेस हो जाते हैं, सारे नॉन यूजफुल बिलीव्स हटा लेते हैं, सारे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स को हम रिमूव कर लेते हैं, then what happens is our mind and body are in harmony, they are synchronized. So they also give us signals and we are able to read those signals. जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि butterflies in the stomach. जब भी हम बहुत एक्साइटेड हो जाते हैं, हमें भूख गोल हो जाती है, हमारी नींद गोल हो जाती है, तो ये बॉडी भी एक डिफरेंट मैसेज देता है हमें. तो ये जब हम अपने आप पे काम करते हैं, which are I have divided into four parts: strengthening useful beliefs, removing non-useful beliefs, processing stuck emotions, and removing conflicts within different body parts. तो ये जब चारों काम कर लेंगे, टाइम लगेगा, इट बट मोमेंट ये हो जाए, वी विल बी अ ट्रांसफॉर्म ट्रेडर. वी विल नॉट बी अ चेंज ट्रेडर, विल नॉट बी अ डिफरेंट ट्रेडर, वी विल बी अ टोटली ट्रांसफॉर्म ट्रेडर. नाउ emotions, they need to be processed. Now we have mental pain, we have physical pain, we have emotional pain. Physical pain is घुटने में दर्द हो रहा है, हाथ में दर्द हो रहा है, सर में दर्द हो रहा है. This is kind of a physical pain. Emotional pain is the pain because of regret, the pain because of anger, the stress, worry. All these are a combination of a mental and emotional. The line between mental emotional is a little bit blurred. Sunil, just a moment, sir. साक्षी को बुला के लाना, वीडियो काम नहीं कर रहा है. पानी डाल दे ऊपर, पानी डाल दे, बोल दे. So now the forms of emotions, what I told is greed. We always fear greed every time. One of the biggest challenges everyone as a trader and as an investor, when the stock starts moving in our favor, we always are very bullish and we always, I mean, profit book ही नहीं करते हैं. Every bull market you see, most of the traders bought the stocks at the right time, but because of greed could not sell could not sell in that right moment and were left with those stocks and finally they came into losses. तो प्रॉफिट में तो आए मगर हम प्रॉफिट बुक नहीं कर पाए. द सेकंड फॉर्म ऑफ इमोशन विच एवरी ट्रेडर डे इन डे आउट इज फियर. जब भी हम शेयर खरीदे नीचे आ गया, फियर है. तो फियर होने से क्या होता है, वी आर नॉट एबल टू ट्रेड टेक द नेक्स्ट ट्रेड, वी आर नॉट एबल टू पुल द ट्रिगर एंड फियर बिकम्स एक्सट्रीम. दैट इज कॉल्ड पैनिक. एवरी टाइम हमारे 2 स्टॉप लॉस कट गए, 3 स्टॉप लॉस कट गए, मार्केट 200 पॉइंट नीचे गिर गई, वी आर वर्चुअली इनटू अ पैनिक. द extreme other form of panic is euphoria. Market is in a very strong bullish mode. Abhi 2020 when the market was at 18,600 levels, everyone was in a euphoric mode, everyone was excitement. स्टॉक खरीद रहे, पैसा बनता जा रहा है, तो हमारा इमोशनल मूड ही चेंज हो जाता है. Then there are phases when market goes into a sideways mode. We lot of frustrated, nothing is working, market is not moving, हम जो भी करते हैं sideways market है, हमारे stop losses कट जाते हैं. Emotion called frustration, anxiety. Every day before 9:15 the market opens, we are into a high stage of anxiety. Kya hoga, what will happen? The anxiety and worry are more or less related but of a slightly different nature. We have pain, we have stress. So the most important feature part is, as I told you, we human beings are a bundle of emotions. Am I right? So if anyone keeps agreeing with this, whatever I say, keep on writing in the chat box yes. So I'll able to come to know whether you are with me or not. We'll have a separate Q&A sessions. Let me finish a little bit of basics and then I'll stop in between and I can answer your questions. So what happens is, when we have all these emotions, what we will be doing is, situations will be the same, our response will be different. वही fear, वही stop loss कटेगा, but जब भी हम emotions को process करना सीख जाएंगे, we will be cutting our trades with lot more confidence that this is just one more trade. आप 1000 ट्रेड्स करेंगे अपने ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ ट्रेडिंग कैरियर में, उसमें से 400 गलत होंगे या 500 गलत होंगे. तो you will start coming to a situation, ये just this is one more trade. Your perspective to the situation will change, your perception to the situation will change. So we'll do a lot of work on emotions. In fact, for the next 4 sessions, what we'll be doing is, we'll be working on all these things: strengthening useful beliefs, removing non-useful beliefs. Video nahi aa raha. So the most important part is, what we'll be doing is processing stuck emotions. I'll just take 1 minute. I think I'm trying to set my video right. अभी शुरू में आ रहा था, फिर अचानक बंद हो गया.
Hello. Sir, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I was just trying to fix the video. It is not working.
I think what we can do, you can finish up the session, and by the end of it, we'll see if the video is there or not. But since we're going to discuss things, I think we can continue the session at least. And sir, also in between, your voice is dropping off. If you can check your net connection as well. No, sir, I don't think I can see you, nor I can hear you as well at this point of time. In fact, we can see you actually. Sorry, my box was. Guys, let's just allow him a couple of minutes. I think it will be fixed. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible now.
I'm audible. I'm visible now. Can go ahead.
Yes, 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 please. That's perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Just a moment.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for the delay. Actually, इसको एक बार slide show में बड़ा आएगा ना ये.
Shift F5.
Shift F5. Yeah. Okay. I'm extremely sorry for the slight problem.
No, all fine, sir.
Okay. As I told, if any participant are they okay with me when we say working on yourself, we have to work on these four things: strengthening useful beliefs. Each of them will come separately over the period of next 4 sessions, but this session we'll be working primarily on processing stuck emotions. And believe me, this is the most important part. If you have handled this part, I think 75 to 80% of your trading problems will disappear, vanish. Not just trading problem, even problems of your whole life, where because we are a bundle of emotions. We have to deal with people. We have relationships in our office, in our family, with our friends, everywhere. Nowadays, it is not intelligence, but emotional intelligence which works. So I have a very good technique which helps you process your stuck emotions, and you will feel very light, very relaxed, very comfortable, very in harmony with yourself when you are able to process your stuck emotions. Now, what this tool is called as EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. It is a highly empowering tool. Deepak Chopra, everyone would have heard. Deepak Chopra is a very renowned spiritual teacher. He says in his entire career, he has found EFT to be a very highly empowering tool. It is an instant go-to tool. All that it needs is 1 to 2 minutes to process, use this tool to process your emotions. Now, when I say process your emotions, I'll just give you an example. आप किसी से गुस्सा होते हो, आप क्या कर सकते हो? उस पे अपनी भड़ास उतार सकते हो. You can be angry with him, you can blast at him, but is it a practical solution? गुस्सा आप हुए हो, वो तो भूल गया जिससे गुस्सा हुए हो, बट आपका अंदर आप आग बबूला हो रहे, आप एंगर से परेशान हो, तो आपको अपने पीस ऑफ माइंड के लिए, आपको कामनेस के लिए, आपको इस एंगर को प्रोसेस करना पड़ेगा. रियल लाइफ में क्या करते हैं? एवरी डे व्हेन वेक अप एंड बिफोर वी गो टू स्लीप, we meet so many people in our office, in our family, in our career, in all our relationships. We experience every emotion, be it regret, be it anger, be it frustration, be it rejection, be it resentment. But what we do is we don't process these emotions. आप देखे होंगे छोटा बच्चा जब रोता है, गिरता है, एक 5-3 साल का बच्चा रोता है और वो चुप हो जाता है. वो चुप, हम उसको चुप करा देते हैं, बोलते हैं भैया रो मत, ये तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ठीक हो जाएगा. हम क्या करते हैं, उसकी वो जो रो के अपना इमोशंस को प्रोसेस कर रहा था, वो प्रोसेसिंग उसने कर लेता, मगर हम उसको रोकते हैं. एज एडल्ट्स वी डोंट हैव a ability to process our emotions. We bottle up our emotions. So what happens is, once we bottle up our emotions, these become stumbling blocks. They stumble over, they have a big role to block our energy. And this energy blockage seriously disrupts our trading decisions, all our decisions, because then instead of taking logical decisions, we tend to take emotional decisions. क्या होता है जब एक ट्रेड हमारे फेवर में नहीं जाता और स्टॉप लॉस कट रहा होता है, तो हम एक इमोशनल पर्सन बन जाते हैं, हम लॉजिकल पर्सन नहीं रहते. अब हमें वो लॉस काटने के लिए ईगो सेट असाइड करके वो लॉस हमसे कटता नहीं है, हमें इमोशंस प्रोसेस, हम इमोशनल पर्सन बन जाते हैं. तो जब ये ईएफटी से हम इमोशंस को प्रोसेस करेंगे, we will be a refined human being, will be a transformed human being, will be a transformed trader. But yes, it won't be miraculously immediate, it won't be instant, it will take some amount of time to overcome it. Okay, so
just a second.
Yeah,
if you can shift to your right a bit, your face is got yep, I think it's much better.
Yeah, okay,
thank you, sir.
So participants can respond in the chat mode. Are they understanding it, or are they having any problem?
I think you can finish few of these sessions and then we can open the chat box.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So what happens is, when I say we are a bundle of human beings or a bundle of emotions, so what do we have to tackle? We have to tackle our emotions. How do we process our emotions? आज तक हमने कभी अपने इमोशंस को प्रोसेस करने का कोई टेक्निक नहीं सीखा होगा. यदि आप गुस्सा हो गए तो किसी पे भड़ास उतार दी या गुस्सा पी गए. Both are bad, because that is not the right solution. The right solution is a solution in which there are no side effects, your energy doesn't get dissipated, and you are a transformed human being. And you can be a transformed human being only when we understand how to process our emotions. What happens is when we use EFT, it helps process our emotions and a magical shift in perception comes. इश्यू वही रहता है, हमारा देखने का नजरिया बदल जाता है, अब वो इश्यू हमें ट्रबल नहीं करता. So what it also does is it releases from the past. We stop focusing on the past, we start living in the present. So any emotions, what happens is anger hota hai ya resentment hota hai, it leaves a small residue which needs to be flushed out from the energy system. EFT is that easier process which helps to flush out this residue. Otherwise, it blocks our energy system. Okay. Now, what is EFT? It works our body's energy system. हमारे body में जो energy है, ये एक meridian करके track है. It flows through those tracks. So we have 16 meridian points. The entire energy, what you call as prana, flows through these meridian systems. So whenever we face any negative emotion, be it anger, be it hurt, be it stress, be it resentment, be it frustration, be it grief, be it sadness, be it sorrow, what it does is it disrupts the energy system. What EFT does is it restores the energy system back. So any negative emotion disrupts our body's energy system, and through EFT, we are restoring it and rebalancing it. It brings our body back to equilibrium. It is like putting the fuse back. जैसे ही fuse वापस आ जाता है, अपना पूरा circuit normal हो जाता है. So when the shift in energy system comes, the perception changes. Now, how to free yourself from emotional pain? I'll tell you what this method is, the science behind the magic, and some case studies, and then we'll do some practical exercises. So, how to clean your energy system? Always जब भी हमें किसी इमोशन को डील करना है, हमारे इमोशन को हमें प्रोसेस करना है, हमें अपने सारे नेगेटिव इमोशंस का छुटकारा पाना है, उसको उससे उसके साइड इफेक्ट्स से और मेन इफेक्ट से हमें बाहर निकलना है, तो हमें अपने एनर्जी सिस्टम को क्लीन करना पड़ेगा. सो एंड ये अंदर से होगा. यदि हम किसी से गुस्सा है तो हम उसको तो चेंज कर नहीं सकते. If we are hurt with some other person, we are not going to change the outside world. We have to change ourselves, the inner part, because the problem is at our end. He might have done a wrong thing to us, but he has forgotten it. But we have kept that wrong thing in our mind and keep on suffering day in and day out. Okay. Now this is called as the tapping method. There are 4 steps. The first is called the setup. The second is called as the sequence. The third is the 9 gamut procedure, and fourth is again the sequence. So essentially it is a 3-step process, because the second step and the 4th step are virtually a repetition. So all it boils down, the tapping method, is into basically 3 steps. Now this is the first step. I'll show you. This is my left. You can take your right hands can use the left hand, or left handers can use the right hand. We have to use this part which is called as a karate chop point. इसी part से हम karate मारते हैं किसी भी block पे या कभी. So this point is called as a karate chop point. So every time we have to have a setup statement. I'll to have a very easy example we all do is, आप किसी से hurt हुए हो या किसी से गुस्सा हुए, think of an event as recent as possible. You could have been hurt with your boss, you could have been angry with your children, you could have been angry with your worker, you could be angry with your driver. Think of some event which, by using that event, I'll show you how to process that emotion. For example, if I'm angry with my driver, my driver's name is Rakesh. So I say, even though I have this anger with Rakesh, since he did not listen to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. So in the second part, the setup statement, even though I have is a common part, I deeply and completely accept myself is again a common part. It will be a standard part. The fill in the blanks is what your emotion you'll have to fill in. The most important part in this EFT is designing the setup statement. आपने यदि सही स्टेटमेंट बना लिया, आपका इमोशन वर्चुअली 3 या 4 टैपिंग सेशन से प्रोसेस हो जाएगा। यदि यहां गलत है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई विल टेल यू एन एग्जाम्पल, यहां हमेशा जो है हमारा इमोशन होना चाहिए। सपोज यू हैव अ एसिडिटी एज अ प्रॉब्लम, तो एसिडिटी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम इज अ बर्निंग सेंसेशन बिकॉज ऑफ एसिडिटी। सो यदि आपने ये लिखा इवन दो आई हैव दिस एसिडिटी इन माय स्टमक, देन यू वोंट गेट अ रिलीफ। You have to say even though I have this burning sensation in my stomach. Now that burning sensation is an emotion. So what you have to basically understand and remember is every time you have to do an introspection and find out what is the emotion which is disturbing you. It is the anger, it is the hurt, it is the frustration, it is the rejection. जैसी कोई भी इवेंट होता है, the first question you have to ask yourself is what is the emotion which is disturbing you. किसी इमोशन से आप एंगर हो सकते हैं, किसी इमोशन से आप हर्ट हो सकते हैं, किसी इमोशन से आप फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो सकते हैं, किसी इमोशन से आप डिसअपॉइंटेड हो सकते हैं। तो वो आपने यदि ढूंढ लिया, द इमोशन विच डिस्टर्ब्स यू, यू हैव कवर्ड solved 90% of your problem, because rest is only a process. So I have taken a case. Everyone can relate one particular example with them. It could be a easy emotion like hurt or anger, as recent as possible, so that you can immediately find out how much emotion is hurting you as of now. And once you do that EFT tapping, after 3 rounds of tapping, how much will it hurt you, how much it is still hurting you. So my emotion which I am doing it as a practical exercise is I am hurt with my driver Rakesh. So you have to identify the person, and you have to identify also the situation. For example, there could be 2 alternatives. Even though I have this feeling of anger with my driver Rakesh. Now anger could be hurt, or that emotion could be anything other than anger also. And the second is you have to identify the person because of whom you have this facing this emotion. So let's freeze to the situation. I'm selecting the emotion called anger, and I'm angry with my driver. I'm angry because he didn't listen to me. So you have to have note down 3 the points: the emotion, from the person, and why. Why are you angry, or why are you disappointed, or why are you hurt, or why are you feeling rejected? So you have to get these 3 things together, and you have to fill in the blanks. Even though I have this feeling of anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. So here you have to tap 3 times. Even though I have this anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. You have to tap this 3 times, and this is called as a setup statement. Even though I have this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now the same thing as traders, what could be happening? So for example, we come after today's trading, we go back and we are very disappointed with ourselves that we did not cut our stop losses. So what is the feeling? There could be a feeling of regret, or there could be a feeling of anger. So if you have a huge position in Tesco and you haven't, you could not execute your stop loss, and at the end of the day, because not executing stop loss, you're very disappointed with yourself, very angry with yourself, or you could even be regretting it. So you have to identify the emotion. So in terms of trading, initially I gave you the example of driver because that is very easy to rate. But in practical terms, when we come on a day-to-day basis, we will list down all the emotions which are troubling us. And this could be one more example where we can tap, and I will do the second part. So once we have identified the setup statement and we have tapped it 3 times, the first step is over. If I'll go to the previous stop, the setup. Setup is the first step in which we have to tap here 3 times. While tapping it here, we have to put this statement. Even though I have this, here you have to mention your emotion, mention the reason of the emotion, and mention with the person because of whom you are having that emotion. And then you say, I deeply and completely accept myself. The second part. Now, as I told you, in our body, the energy or the prana, what you call the energy, flows between this 13 meridian points. So we have to tap all these meridian points in our body. मतलब जहां इलेक्ट्रिक का पूरा सर्किट होता है, अब हमें ये नहीं पता कि कौन से सर्किट में कहां प्रॉब्लम है, तो हम क्या करते हैं, हर सर्किट पॉइंट को हम टैप कर देते हैं, तो जहां भी वो लीकेज होती है वो प्लग इन हो जाती है। तो जैसी वो लीकेज प्लग इन होती है, हमारा एनर्जी सिस्टम वापस रेस्टोर हो जाता है। सो इफ यू आर इन लेमन टर्म्स, इफ यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड ईएफटी टू दिस, जब भी आप गुस्सा होते हो, जब भी एंगर आते हैं, जब भी रिजेक्शन होता है, कोई एक इमोशन आता है, कोई एक नेगेटिव इमोशन होता है, what happens is our energy system gets disrupted. So instead of solving on the anger or talking to the person because of whom we are angry, what we are doing is we are restoring the energy system back. And moment we restore the energy system back through this method, the perception changes. वो anger हमें irrelevant, हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता उस anger से. Now the second part comes, fill in the blank with the negative emotion problem you wanted. This could be physical pain or एक headache, anxiety. अब हमारा problem था this anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me. अब हमें ये 16 meridian points tap करने हैं, जो मैं यहां दिखा रहा हूं. Top of the head, second is eyebrow, third is side of eye, fourth is under the eye, fifth is under the nose, sixth is below the chin, seventh is collarbone, or eighth is then it is below the arm and near the stomach, and then this 5 fingers. So I'll show you and you'll be able to understand it. So now I start from here. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger, the second point near the eyebrow, this anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, the third point near the side of your eye, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, fourth below the eye, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, below the nose, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. We have to tap 8 times and say this statement. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, chin, shoulder, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, collarbone, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, then is below the arm, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, then here stomach, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, then the wrist, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, then the thumb, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, first finger, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, then we have to exclude the middle finger, the ring finger, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, then the little finger, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. So these are all the 16 points where we have to tap. This ends the second process. ये 16 points पे हमारी energy in tracks के through जाती है. Now one of these points is a point where there is an energy leakage because of that emotion, the worry, the fear, the jealousy, the resentment. So we don't know what that point is. So what we do is we tap all the 16 points. Here 13 points. Okay, actually there are 3 more points. I'll add it. 16 points पे जब हम trap कर देंगे, this completes the second part. So again, I'll slightly come back again so that there is no confusion. First is the setup. We have to tap 3 times on this karate chop point, saying this setup statement. Even though I have this anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, I deeply and completely accept myself. We have to tap this three times. The second is we have to pick the middle part. This anger with my driver Rakesh for not listening to me, and we have to tap this 16 points. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me, this anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. So this done, the second step is over. So as a logic, and just to tell you, this EFT system was designed and developed by Stanford engineer Dr. Gary Craig. He was an engineer by profession, so a lot of science went behind into it. Why this, what the setup statement does, and what this 16 meridian points does. The third step is called as the nine gamete procedure. What happens is now brain accesses all the parts of your body. This might find it very illogical or might be stupid to some who don't initially, you may not be understanding why we are doing it, but I'll tell you the logic why we are doing it. Now brain controls every organ of our body. Now here what we do is, while tapping, we do this process, start with eyes open, close your eyes, open your eyes, glance down to your left. Now when we think of any situation in the past, what does our eyeballs do? They go to the left side of your eye and they access the left part of the brain. When we think of anything in the future, we access the right side of the brain. When we think of any loved one, there is a tendency of the eyeballs to go down. And there are, we hum tune for 2 times, because when we hum, we access the creative, the right side of the brain. Then we count from 1 to 5. We access the left and the logical side of the brain. So what happens is, all this process, all this step, what we do helps helps us process the emotion, and each and every part of our brain accesses some organs, and some or the other of this part is responsible for those emotions. So now what we have to do is, when we have to do this, now there is an area between the little finger and the ring finger, and we have to consistently tap on that part. I'll show you here. This part we have to keep on tapping. So keep on tapping. Close your eyes, open eyes. So start with eyes open. Step 2 is close your eyes. Step 3 is open your eyes. And then, without moving our head down, we have to just look left down. First you have to do left down. Your eyeballs should see the left side, downside. Then you have to see the right side. Then you have to do a clockwise, then anti-clockwise. As I told you, brain functions whenever the different parts of our organs. So when we move clockwise and anti-clockwise, our brain has the tendency to access all the parts of, the eyes. When we move eyes in this fashion, we are accessing all parts of our brain. Then we do this, and we do a humming sound twice. For example, happy birthday to you. This will be you'll find it quite stupid, but it is quite logical. I'll say, so I'm humming happy birthday to you. I'll have to hum twice. Then step 8, I have to count from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then step 9, again, happy birthday to you. So again, I'll repeat. I'm tapping this part. Eyes open. Eyes closed, eyes open, see left down, see right down, see left down, clockwise, anti-clockwise, humming sound, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, humming sound. So this completes the step 3. Step 4 is again that sequence where we tapped like this. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. This anger with Rakesh for not listening to me. So again, I'll come back. First step was the setup, wherein we tapped at the karate chop point. We made a statement. We had filled in the emotion. This emotion could be anger. We took the case of anger with Rakesh, driver Rakesh for not listening to me. Here it could be any emotion. Even though I have this regret that I do not execute my stop losses. Even though I have this greed that I book my profits in time. Even though I have this anxiety that I'm unable to pull the trigger. Even though I have this frustration that I'm unable to put in my trades properly. Even though I have this frustration that I'm unable to execute my stop losses rightly. So whatever be the emotion, you can process it. Here you have to identify the emotion. The first part, even though I have, and I deeply and completely accept myself, is a standard part. So the first step is the setup statement. The second step is this. It is not 13, actually it is 16. Here I have the 16 points. Top of head, beginning of eyebrow, side of eye, under eye, under the nose, chin, shoulders, beginning of collarbone, under the arm, side of stomach, wrist, thumb, index finger, middle finger, and little finger, and then karate chop point. The third step is the 9 gamut procedure. We start tapping here and close eyes, open eyes, right down, left down, clockwise, anti-clockwise, humming sound twice, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and humming sound. This is the third step. Fourth step is again this sequence. So one step is over. So as an exercise, what you do is list down all the emotions which trouble you. For example, if you are not able to execute, you have a anxiety while putting in a trade. You regret that you could not execute a trade properly. You are very sad that you don't book profits. Whatever be the emotion, the stock market emotions will take more time. So what I am suggesting you is to start with, you list down a list of emotions which trouble you. For example, you have been hurt with someone, you'll be angry with your wife, you'll be hurt with your friend that he didn't call you for his birthday. You note down all those emotions, list down top 3 or 3, and tap this. Suddenly after 3 rounds or 4 rounds or 5 rounds, you will start feeling very lighter. Your perception will change, and that emotion will just get processed and vanish away. It will be a miraculous technique. You have been hurt with someone for years together. So that might take maybe 10 rounds of tapping or 15 rounds of tapping. But a hurt very recently with someone, you could just tap it in over 3 rounds or 4 rounds or 5 rounds. So this emotion, what you're doing is, earlier what you used to do is, you used to bottle up this emotion, you used to hold back these emotions. These emotions, beyond a certain period of time, gets converted into diseases. It's get converted into illnesses. So as a right strategy, what we have to do is we have to do this processing of emotions. आज तक आपने बस सुना होगा भी गुस्सा है, गुस्सा कंट्रोल करो, फियर है, फियर को काबू करो, ग्रीड मत करो, मगर करो कैसे? The practical part is the most important part. We must be, ये knowledge हमको बहुत लोग दे रहे होंगे गुस्सा मत करो, but बोलना आसान है. उस वक्त जब सिचुएशन होता है तो गुस्सा आता है. अब 2 पार्ट है, उस वक्त तो गुस्सा हम कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहे, बाद में हम फिर रिग्रेट कर रहे हैं. So at least when we learn this process, we are able to process emotions. Now coming back to how it is related to trading. Trading is a game of emotions. Let me be very, very clear. Trading, we think, is a game of logic. Yes, it is a game of logic. When we select a stock, when we think how much to buy, what to buy, when to buy. But when we go and buy, when we execute our stop loss, when we book our profit, it becomes a lot of dealing with emotions. So if we are able to master our emotions by way of processing our emotions over a period of time, we'll become a very, very good trader. What a Van Tharp does in his a super trader program over 2 years is something to do with emotions, how he processes emotions. He has a very complicated model of the Zerodha method, which is a very long method. What I have distilled out is to give you a very simple process which empowers you to emotions. आज के बाद आपको emotions तंग नहीं करेंगे यदि डेली आप हाफ एन आवर अपने आप पे काम करेंगे. When I say invest in yourself, work on yourself, what do you mean by how do you work on yourself? आप सारे emotions list करिए. First you list all the emotions, take down a page of paper. Worry लिखिए, resentment, anxiety, jealousy, frustration, disappointment, dejection, ये सारे इमोशंस लिखिए और कब कब हुए हैं वो इवेंट लिख लिए और then keep on processing it. Then you list down the list of people who come to you, your boss, your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your boss, your worker, your driver. उससे आगे कोई ना कोई आपको कहीं ना कहीं किसी ने हर्ट किया होगा, किसी गुस्सा आया होगा, कहीं फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होंगे, वो सारे इमोशंस लिखिए. देन आपका एक्सरसाइज होगा, इन सारे इमोशंस को प्रोसेस करिए. यू विल बी नीडिंग माय हेल्प टू प्रिपेयर दिस सेटअप स्टेटमेंट. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इस पूरे प्रोसेस का दिस सेटअप स्टेटमेंट. If you have identified the emotion rightly, I can bet you do this process 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. एक राउंड को करने के लिए 2 मिनट लगता है. तो हम यदि इस फर्स्ट पार्ट पे आते हैं, हमारा प्रोसेसिंग स्टक इमोशंस, बिलीव मी दिस इज अ ह्यूज वर्क टू बी डन. When this super trader who paid 40 lakhs to Vanguard super trading program spread over 2 years. What he did, he learned a lot of techniques and उसने ये काम किया. This super trader, by the way, was a billionaire trader. Billions of dollars पैसे बना चुके थे. उसके बाद भी उसने 6 महीने छुट्टी ली, अपने आप पे काम किया 30 hours per week, which makes around 4 hours to 5 hours every day, purely working on himself. He processed submerged emotions. ये D गलत है. Submerged emotions, revisited traumatic experience, dissolved limiting beliefs. तो ये वाला काम जो हम कर रहे हैं, हम स्टेप 3 पे कर रहे हैं. ये सारा काम के लिए इट्स अ लॉन्ग टर्म थिंग टू बी डन. It can't be done on 6 to 8 hours, but I can give you an outline. And during this 8 hours, 4 workshops, 4 sessions, what we'll do start from today, we will work on this processing emotions. Even if you learn this one step and are able to practice, say 15 minutes or half an hour every day, and are able to process, you will find a miraculous change coming within yourself. You will be a transformed trader. Otherwise, human beings क्या करते हैं? या तो पास्ट में रिग्रेट करते हैं या फ्यूचर का वरी करते हैं, प्रेजेंट में कभी नहीं रहते. छोटे बच्चे क्या करते हैं? वो प्रेजेंट में जीते हैं, हमेशा खुश रहते हैं. यदि रोते हैं, यदि दुख होता है, रो के प्रोसेस कर लेते हैं. हम रोते भी नहीं है. हम क्या करते हैं? उन सारे इमोशंस को अंदर बॉटल अप कर लेते हैं, उनको होल्ड कर लेते हैं. हमको लगता है कि रोना खराब है, बट हमें इमोशंस को प्रोसेस करने का दूसरा तरीका आता नहीं है. आप सब लोगों ने एक पिक्चर देखी होगी, जब वी मेट. I think most of the people would have seen this movie Jab We Met. I can tell you a very practical example. Kareena Kapoor and Shahid Kapoor met. Shahid Kapoor was very, very disturbed because of some ex-girlfriend who had rejected him. He was very low, he was very sad, he was very down. So Kareena Kapoor told him, उसके बारे में सोचता क्यों, एक काम कर, उसको लिख, गाली लिख और उसको पूरी गाली दे और उसको फ्लश कर दे. So what was she essentially telling? She was giving a way out to process his emotions. अपनी भड़ास निकाल दी उसने, just blasted out. But in real life, we can't go on blasting out each and everyone, because of हर 2 दिन में किसी न किसी से एंगर होंगे, कहीं हर्ट होंगे, कहीं रिजेक्टेड फील करेंगे, कहीं फ्रस्ट्रेटेड फील करेंगे. Now you can't keep on processing this blasting out everyone. The problem is within you. You have to process these emotions. किसी ने आपसे गुस्सा करके चला गया, आपसे एंगर हो गया, टिस्को में आपका स्टॉप लॉस कट गया, डीएलएफ में आपको लॉस हो गया, किसी में प्रॉफिट कम बुक कर लिया, किसी में फियर ऑफ मिसिंग आउट आ गया, किसी में ग्रीड आ गया, किसी में ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर पाए. ये जब प्रोसेस होता है 3.5 के बजाय, यू बिकम अ मैन विथ ह्यूज इमोशंस. इतने इमोशंस चल रहे होते हैं. एक रिग्रेट होता है, एक फियर होता है, एक ग्रीड होता है. Every day you go home with a bundle of emotions. They remain unprocessed and they hamper your trading execution capability. You just heard the word intuition. क्या intuition कहाँ डेवलप होता है? Intuition उनका डेवलप होता है जिनके इमोशंस प्रोसेस हो चुके होते हैं, जिनके कन्फ्लिक्ट्स नहीं होते हैं, बॉडी और माइंड में हार्मोनियस रिलेशन होता है. जब ये 2 प्रोसेसेस होते हैं, योर इंट्यूशन किक्स इन. Your intuition won't kick in before you do these 2 steps. And what you do is, moment people do this Van Tharp trading program for 2 years, they do a lot of work on processing stuck emotions and removing conflicts with different body parts. When they do this part, after that, what happens is they become a transformed trader. System वही होता है, strategy वही होती है, execution में change आ जाता है. बाद में यार अभी कर लिया मैंने, तो execution में change आता है. So don't take these things lightly. These are simple things, but simple things bring in a lot of unexpected results. NLP में there is a quotation called 1 degree change in effort brings 100-degree change in results. I'll give you a very good example. Every flight which takes off from Delhi, whether it goes to New Zealand, whether it goes to New York, whether it goes to Russia, whether it goes to Japan or goes to France, it first goes to Jaipur. From Jaipur, it changes its degree. 1 degree shift कोई north की जाता है, 1 degree south जाता है, 1 degree east जाता है, 1 degree west जाता है. After say 4 hours, they are some 1,000 kilometers apart. So 1 degree change in result will bring a 100-degree change in results. So these two things are the 1 degree change what you are doing. बिकॉज ये आप अपने माइंड का जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सॉफ्टवेयर है उसको रीप्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं. हमने आज तक माइंड के सॉफ्टवेयर पे भी काम नहीं किया है. हमने सिर्फ अपने स्ट्रेटजीज पे काम किया है, हमने अपने सिस्टम्स पे काम किया है, हमने अपने इंडिकेटर्स पे काम किए हैं. बट जो इन सबको जो एग्जीक्यूट करता है दैट इज अवर माइंड. I'll tell you a very good example. Steve Cohen is a multi-billion, he's a very good hedge fund manager who manages multi-billion-dollar funds, one of the most successful fund managers. He had a trading coach called Mr. Eric Cave. Now, Eric Cave was a psychiatrist in a New York hospital, and he was the coach of Olympic athletes. And he used to see these Olympic athletes transform themselves and finally bring laurels to the country by winning Olympic gold medals. Now, Steve Cohen came in touch with Eric Cave. He asked him to join his office and help him traders better their results. He started coming once a day, once a week, then twice a week, then thrice a week. Finally, he became a full-time employee. And Steve Cohen used to pay him a very handsome amount. One of the interviewers asked, why do you pay such a massive amount to Steve Cohen? So he gave a very interesting reply. See, I have 500 traders. All these 500 traders have 500 laptops. I give AMC for all those laptops. No one questioned me, why do I pay a huge AMC charge for all these laptops? Now, all those 500 traders, the biggest asset is their brain. The biggest asset is their mind. Why will I not pay something to reprogram the mind of those traders? हमारा एक ही एसेट क्या है? हमारा एक ही एसेट है. We don't need a manufacturing facility. We don't need a huge plant and machinery. All that we need is a laptop, a software, a basic software, and basically a unprocessed mind, a transformed mind, a calm mind, a peaceful mind to execute our trades. सारे ट्रेडिंग में जो सबसे बड़ा जो बॉटल नेक है, इट इज नॉट अ स्ट्रेटजी, इट इज नॉट अ सिस्टम, इट इज नॉट अ इंडिकेटर, इट इज नॉट अ प्रोसेस. ये सब तो हम 2 महीने 3 महीने में सब सीख लेंगे. आसिफ सर ने आपको सिखा दिए. अब आसिफ सर के जो 500 स्टूडेंट हैं, उन 500 स्टूडेंट में एक लॉस करता होगा, एक एवरेज प्रॉफिट करता होगा, एक खूब मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट करता होगा. फर्क तीनों में क्या? सिस्टम वही है, स्ट्रेटजी वही है, मगर एग्जीक्यूशन इज द डिफरेंस. हु इज द पर्सन रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द एग्जीक्यूशन? द ट्रेडर हिमसेल्फ. Now, what is the bottleneck between analysis and execution? It is your mind. It is your strong on emotional feelings. It is the conviction. It is the patience. It is the control of greed, control of fear. So, what we are working is, we are working on these emotions. So, इसको हम तोड़ के हम सबसे पहले इस पे काम करेंगे, processing stuck emotions. Now, Q&A I can answer you because ये doubts काफी होंगे. What I could request you is, जब मैं अभी I'll tap one more time, ये आप आपके स्क्रीन पे मैं दिख रहा हूँ, अपने फोन पे रिकॉर्ड कर लीजिए, तो so that you know what is EFT. So because you forget, you can see it once again, so that then you can start working on it. Every day work half an hour on it, 15 days in the morning, 15 days in the evening, 15 minutes in the evening. यदि ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, आप टीवी देख रहे हैं, कोई सीरियल देख रहे हैं, एवरी 2 मिनट्स देयर इज अ एड आता है, 5-10 मिनट बाद, वो एड के बीच म्यूट करके एक राउंड ऑफ ईएफटी कर लीजिए. 2-3 मिनट का एड होगा, 4 मिनट का एड होगा, 2 राउंड ऑफ ईएफटी हो जाएंगे. आपको 15 राउंड ऑफ ईएफटी यदि आपने डेली कर लिया, एक एक इश्यू को टैकल कर लिया, इन अ स्पैन ऑफ नेक्स्ट 6 months to 1 year, you will be a transformed human being. You would have processed majority of your stuck emotions, and any emotion which comes doesn't disturbs you beyond a point. I can give you a very good practical example of how emotions work. I used to talk to a very good successful fund manager in Bombay. It was around 10 years back. There was a stock called Infotech Enterprises, which was trading around 170-180 rupees. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा, भाई क्या स्टॉक अच्छा लगता है? तो उन्होंने बोला इन्फोटेक एंटरप्राइजेस ले लिया. तो भाव था 170. By the time I could see the stock, चार्ट देखा, थोड़ा फंडामेंटल देखा, तो स्टॉक ऑलमोस्ट वेंट ऑन अ सर्किट. मतलब उन्होंने जो रेट बोला 20% का सर्किट था, ऑलमोस्ट 4-5 रुपए बचा था, बट हिम्मत नहीं हो पाई, क्योंकि जब तक देखा, जब तक समझा 20% लगने वाला था. उसके बाद फिर अगले दिन 5% ऊपर खुला. अब सडनली एक स्टॉक 20% ऊपर हो जाए, अगले दिन हिम्मत नहीं होती लेने की. तो फिर एक 20% लग गया, ऐसे वो ऑलमोस्ट 60% हो गया 3-4 दिन में। अगेन मैंने एक हफ्ते बाद उनसे फिर पूछा, सर एनी गुड स्टॉक टू बाय? उन्होंने बोला ना, इन्फोटेक एंटरप्राइजेस ले ले। तो आई टोल्ड सर अब हिम्मत नहीं होती इतने ऊपर लेने के लिए। तो हिज रिप्लाई वाज, हिम्मत तो चांदनी चौक में मिलेगी नहीं। So what I mean to say is these emotions have to be developed internally, have to be processed internally. The conviction has to be created internally. These are not शेल्फ आइटम्स की आप जाके सुपर बाजार में हिम्मत खरीद लीजिए, फियर को मिस करा लीजिए, रिग्रेट अवॉइड करा लीजिए। ये तो आपको अपने आप पे काम करना पड़ेगा। आप कितने सिस्टम सीख लीजिए, कितने स्ट्रेटजी सीख लीजिए, कितने इंडिकेटर सीख लीजिए, एंड में आपको तो एग्जीक्यूशन इज द की। What people we do is keep on shifting from systems to systems, strategies to strategies, indicators to indicators, and don't work on ourselves. Even the most simplest system will give us money if we stick it consistently and execute it flawlessly. But what is the problem between understanding a system, learning a system, and executing a system? It is your emotions. Suddenly market 10% ऊपर खुल गया, 5% ऊपर खुल गया, गैप में आपको फियर होगा, इतने ऊपर ले लूंगा नीचे आ जाएगा, और ऊपर जाता है, फिर आपने ले भी लिया, शेयर 10% ऊपर चला जाता है, आप बुक नहीं कर पाते बिकॉज योर ग्रीड। नीचे आ जाता है, आपका स्टॉप लॉस कटने के कगार पे आता है, आपको फियर हो जाता है, और नीचे आ जाता है, आपको पैनिक हो जाता है, शेयर बहुत ऊपर हो जाता है, यूफोरिया हो जाता है। सो एवरी डे ड्यूरिंग द मार्केट वी आर experiencing emotion practically every second. And imagine after 6 hours of trading, 5 days a week, almost 200 trading days every year, what happens to us? We become a cocktail of emotions. And apart from that, all our relationships also gives a lot of emotional pain. कहीं hurt होता है, कहीं anger होता है, कहीं rejection होता है, कहीं disappointment होता है, कहीं jealousy होता है, कभी frustration होता है. So we again, यदि हम देखें तो ये सारे इमोशंस को प्रोसेस करने का एक बहुत लंबा टाइम पीरियड है, बट एटलीस्ट आप शुरुआत करेंगे तो धीरे 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 ये एक एक्सरसाइज हो जाएगा. अभी आप ईएफटी करेंगे, आपको अच्छा लगेगा, बट आपको स्टिक करना पड़ेगा इसमें. One of my friends whom I taught this EFT system and gave a lot of good lectures on spirituality, positive thinking, well, he is a very common response was, यार ये मोटिवेशन वगैरह बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, 1-2 दिन बैटरी चार्ज रहती है, फिर उसके बाद बैटरी खत्म हो जाती है. तो आई गेव हिम अ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल रिप्लाई. हम लोग रोज नहाते हैं, फ्रेश फील करते हैं, अगले दिन फिर डर्टी फील करते हैं, फिर नहाते हैं. सो इट बिकम्स अ डेली पार्ट. Just because the way we do a physical bathing, all these steps are mental bathing, whether be it a EFT, a meditation, a pranic energy, a Reiki, or anything. All these are mental bathing techniques. So we have to do it every day. I'll tell you one more example. Just choose a whiteboard. Just a moment. ये एक टम्बलर है, हम यहाँ एनर्जी डाल रहे हैं. हम मेडिटेशन कर रहे हैं, पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आ रही है. हम प्राणिक हीलिंग कर रहे हैं, पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आ रही है. हम एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आ रही है. हम पॉजिटिव बुक्स पढ़ रहे हैं, पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आ रही है. हम जो भी मोटिवेशनल कोटेशंस पढ़ते हैं, पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आ रही है. बट क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ लीकेजेस हैं, यहाँ लीकेजेस हैं, यहाँ लीकेजेस हैं, यहाँ लीकेजेस हैं, यहाँ लीकेजेस हैं. इस टम्बलर में ये सारे इमोशंस हैं. This could be jealousy, this could be fear, this could be regret, this could be sadness, this could be worry, this could be frustration. So what happens is, जितनी भी हम पॉजिटिव चीजें डालते हैं, until unless we plug in these leakages, this energy is not going to stay. तो होता क्या है, every day we become motivated and over a period of time again we come back to the same position. फिर वही पॉजिटिव बुक पढ़ते हैं, फिर एनर्जी चार्ज होती है, but again we lose the motivation. तो द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज, ये तो करते रहे, हम करते रहेंगे, ये जो लीकेजेस का जो प्लग इन पार्ट है, दैट इज द मोर क्रिटिकल पार्ट. एंड लीकेजेस का प्लग इन का जो प्रोसेस है, दैट इज दिस what is called processing stuck emotions. When we process our stuck emotions, the leakages stops. So any positive energy that comes within us has a tendency to stay. क्योंकि ये negative emotion क्या करते हैं, हमारा energy का circuit disrupt करते हैं. तो we have to restore the energy system back. So if we are able to do this processing stuck emotions, which now everything is in your hands, you have to pick an emotion, you have to create a setup statement, tap on it, and keep on tapping. There is something called as a SUDS level, subjective unit of disturbance. I'll just do that. हाँ, ये. अब आप कभी भी जब इमोशन टैप करिए, सपोज यू आर एंग्री विथ योर एम्प्लॉय for some reason because he didn't listen to you, he didn't complete his work in time, or you are angry with yourself that you didn't execute your stop losses. अब आप सोच के देखिए कितने गुस्से हैं. That intensity level initially would be 10. Keep on tapping, keep on tapping, keep on tapping. 3 राउंड ऑफ टैप करिए, वो 10 से 9 पे आएगा. और टैप करिए, हो सकता है 5 पे आ जाए. और 2 राउंड टैप करिए, 0 आ जाए. सो आपको कब तक टैप करना है? टिल द टाइम वो इमोशन आपका 0 नहीं आ जाता है. This is called as subjective unit of measure your subjective unit of disturbance scale. This starts at 10. Keep on tapping, bring it to 10, bring it to 0. कई बार ये 3 राउंड ऑफ टैपिंग से आ जाएगा, कई बार ये 10 राउंड ऑफ टैपिंग से आ जाएगा. So what I'll do is I'll again tap for you. You just record, everyone can record this on your mobile phone so that they can refer it to whenever they want to tap again, and they can refer it to if there is any doubt. Now my setup statement is, even though I am angry with myself that I did not cut my stop loss of Tisco yesterday. So what I'm doing, what is my anger? Emotion, my emotion is anger. Why is that anger? Because I did not execute my stop loss. Stop loss of what? Tata Steel trade. So you have to take a issue and break it down into 3 parts. First is, what is the emotion? When was the emotion, or with whom was the emotion, or what was the reason for that emotion? You have to specify it. For example, you are having the pain in the knee. You can use it very effectively for your headache, for your backache, for your stomach ache. For example, if you have a backache, so you have to tap it. Even though I have this backache, it's the lower back of at my lower back. Then you can even describe your backache, throbbing pain, the throbbing pain, the shooting pain. So even though I have this throbbing pain in my lower back, I deeply and completely accept myself. You can try it on only physical pain also. It is a miraculous technique. Maybe you need to have a Disprin or a Crocin advanced pain relief, and instead of that, you could use this itself and your pain will go away. You could try it and it could be wonderful. So now what I'm doing is, I am just giving you a demo of 1 round of tapping. This 1 round have to be done several times till that emotion totally comes to 0 level. So even though I'm angry with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm angry with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm angry with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday, I deeply and completely accept myself. The first step is over. The setup is over. Now I'm going to the second point. I'll be tapping all the 16 points of the meridian points from where the energy travels. The purpose of this second step is to restore the energy system back. The second step is, I have to keep on repeating the statement and tap all the 16 points. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday, this anger with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday, this anger with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday, this anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss in Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself it's not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss with Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss with Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. The second step is over. The good part is the first step is also the second step. So you don't have to learn anything new. So first step is over, second step is over, first step will always do, which is the repetition of the second step. The third step is the 9 gamut procedure. Now, this is the point between the little finger and the index finger. I'll have to consistently tap on it, close eyes, open eyes, see right down, see left down, move your eyeballs clockwise, move your eyeballs anti-clockwise, twice humming sound. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, humming sound. So this third step is over. Again, go to the fourth step. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for Tisco not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. This anger with myself for not executing my stop loss on Tisco yesterday. The fourth step. This is one round of EFT. अब क्या होगा, टिस्को का लॉस तो हो गया, बट आपके मन में जो एंगर है वो प्रोसेस हो जाएगा. अब आपने यू वोंट कीप ऑन ब्लेमिंग योरसेल्फ, यू वोंट कीप ऑन बीइंग एंग्री ऑन योरसेल्फ कि यू डिड नॉट एग्जीक्यूट योर स्टॉप लॉस ऑफ टिस्को. सो आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट ईएफटी करने से आपका वो लॉस वापस आ जाएगा. आपका मन में जो एंगर है वो प्रोसेस हो जाएगा एंड यू आर इन अ बेटर मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क टू डू द फ्यूचर ट्रेड्स. बिकॉज ये प्रोसेस जब तक नहीं होगा ना, एज ट्रेडर में बहुत सारे स्टॉप लॉसेस होंगे. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ एक स्टॉप लॉस यू कैन लिस्ट आउट द issues which troubled you most. If you are not able, if not a disciplined trader, not a patient trader, you are a very greedy trader, a fearful trader, an anxious trader, आप अपने emotions को list down करिए and then work on it. Easier part would be to pick up non-market issues for the beginning so that you see success immediately, because ये सब trading के issues are deep-rooted issues. They won't go very fast. Suppose you are angry with your boss, or you're hurt with your parents, or you are disappointed with your children, you're disappointed with your employees. You catch those issues, note down the emotion, prepare a setup statement, and tap on it. So Asit sir will, I'll take a short, if there is any question, so that instead of moving forward without everyone grasping the entire subject, if there are any questions, we can go ahead. And then we can go to the next topic if you want.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. We can open the chat section and let's see if there is any query, and please kindly answer those.
Yeah. There are a lot more stuff to cover, but at least I would like to have a short time period here where at least we give a time window here where people can put up their queries, discuss, and get things clarified, because this is a very critical part. If you understand it wrongly, you won't be able to practice it rightly.
Right. I think Vishal, if you can open the chat box and let's see if there are any Q&A, we can take those up.
Yeah.
Ideally, sir, just a quick query. How much time do you think, as a trader, someone should give some amount of time for,
Sir, I personally feel 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening initially to start with. One should do this EFT and just keep on processing emotions, because you will have two types of emotions. One is deep-rooted permanent emotions, and one is emotions which you encounter on a daily basis, which keeps on adding to your list of emotions. So one morning time you can keep for the permanent part, deep-rooted emotions. You got hurt because of someone said you something, you were bullied in school, the parents told you something during your college days, someone ragged you during your education period, you were hurt because of your girlfriend. Could be all those permanent issues which are deep scars, traumatic experiences. And there could be the daily, regular, ongoing things we keep on adding. So one part you keep to the long term, one part you keep to the short term. And if you keep on processing your emotions, can bet you will feel a totally different person. There'll be a complete transformation, because आप अपना personal भी life देखिए, every time either we worry about the future or we are in the past. Rarely we stay in the present. So this technique helps you process your emotions, clean your energy system, remove the disruptions, and immediately come back to your normal self. You won't see miracle. I mean, some people have reported even 15-year, headache every day or migraine headaches going off instantaneously. You can work on your physical body pains, not just stock market. This is a very empowering tool for any of your emotional problem. And आज के पहले आपने सोचा होगा इमोशनल प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन क्या है? इमोशन तो सबको आते हैं. मैं तो थ्योरी में तो बहुत ज्ञान दे दूं कि भाई गुस्सा मत करो, ग्रीडी मत बनो, फियरफुल मत बनो, बट सॉल्यूशन क्या है? वो तो अवेयर करा रहा हूं ना. ऑल दैट पीपल आर मेकिंग यू इज यू आर अवेयर दैट यस डू हैव अ प्रॉब्लम, बट व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन? अब एंगर, इफ सपोज यू हैव एंगर विद समवन, यू कांट गो एंड ब्लास्ट ऑफ एवरीवन. You can't keep on telling everyone that I'm hurt with you.
You're right.
Yeah, I got this question. Will this work for the mistakes we did in the past for which we keep on regretting? It will work very well. You list down the mistake, and now you have to identify what is that emotion. Emotion is regret. Is the emotion regret or is the emotion anger? So you have to, if you have identified the emotion regret, then keep on. Even though I regretted that I didn't go join engineering, even though I regretted that I came to trading very late, whatever your regret is. While tapping in the second step, you only mentioned first of the statement, my anger with not putting on Tisco trade yesterday. No, the second part is, we just have to say the middle part. This anger, this emotion, I deeply and completely accept myself, and the first part, it is not there. Okay. Mental bath, wow, this is great. I feel okay. Please confirm there was a difference in the statement in the first, second, third. No, first step is the full statement. If I come to the first part, just a moment. The first part, you have to, what is called the setup. You have to do this complete thing. Even though I have this regret that I didn't do engineering, I deeply and completely accept my. Even though I have this anger with my friend that he didn't respond to my request, even though I feel jealous that my friend has made a lot of money, I deeply. Second part, when you come, this anger, this regret, this pain, you have to just calculate the little middle part. So even though I have this anger, the second part will come, this anger with Rakesh for not responding to me. Acha, can I develop my own EFT routine? Yes. No, the setup, the statement is a part. You can work out your, list down your emotions and then work it on it. We were not able to see the explanation you gave on whiteboard. Whiteboard was not shared. I can just see if... is the whiteboard visible to everyone?
No, it is not actually.
So I don't know, because it is on my screen. Who can see what you share here? Just a moment. What is the way out?
Let's answer the queries. Whiteboard will see again.
Okay.
Just in case,
Yeah, the setup statement can be general also. See, the more particular it is, better, because even though I fear trading in the market is a very general statement. No, you could have a specific fear. Even though I'm very anxious during the morning session in the market. So that is so the more general, more specific you are, it will be work better. No, if you are a right-hander, you can use your right two fingers, first two fingers, and tap it on the left side of your left hand's karate chop point. World instills status anxiety in our mind, focusing it to complete the accompanying. Yes, sir, how to remove this thought of high and low status in my society from mind? No, this is a very good thing. This comes to basically, this is issue to self-esteem. So I'll work on self-esteem and I'll tell you what to do, what is the solution for that. Despite knowing the perfect entry point, I'm not able to take trade. Fear or loss is the reason. Can this be solved using EFT? So yes, I think one is, if you know entry point in a trade, so you have to identify what is the reason. Are you afraid, or do you have less conviction? If you are afraid, this you can easily tap. Even though I have this fear of making the right entries, I deeply and completely accept myself. Keep on tapping on those fears. How to overcome fear of missing out? You have to, one is you have to give a message to yourself that this is not the end of the world. One opportunity loss is not the end of the world. There are opportunities every day, day in and day out. So even if you sit from 9:15 to 3:30 glued to your screen, still you will miss some trades. You have to accept it as a part of your life. But yes, the response, the emotion which you face because of fear of missing out, that you can tap out. And once you tap that, you will feel more comfortable, more relaxed. I think the chats questions are coming very. Who remembers this suggestion on EFT when mind is occupied with anger? No, mind is occupied with anger, so you have to tap your anger. It is at that point, maybe you may not do, but once you are angry and done with and keep on regret, no, you are angry with yourself for all your past behaviors. You have to keep on tapping. I'm not telling that you will stop feeling, I mean, at that your anger will vanish away. But जो गुस्सा हो गया, जो एंगर हो गया, उसको तो वो प्रोसेस तो कर सकते हैं ना आप. How does one say one is constantly procrastinating and take action? Now, what is this? This procrastination is basically a feeling of laziness. You can tap on laziness. Laziness is a feeling. So how does one say one is constantly? Can we simultaneously work on different emotions? No, you have to pick one emotion, one issue, tap it out, brings the surge level to 0, then move it on to new. How many taps we have to tap for each step, sir? I think when you tap here 8 times, you just say the statement, at least 8 times it will automatically happen. EFT will work if I am stuck in past losses. No. If you are in past losses, the regret of past losses will go away. वो losses वापस नहीं आ जाएंगे, but you will become a better trader since you have processed emotions. The next trades what you say trade will be from a balanced situation. At least वो regret के साथ trade ना करे, fear के साथ trade. See, actually आप ये देखिए, आपने trade 1 किया. First trade में you made profit. You bought 1 lot. Second trade में you again made profit. You bought 1 lot. Third trade में क्या करेंगे? You become confident. You will buy 2 lots. Agreed? Most of the people do. Most of the traders do it way. You also make profit. Maybe 4th trade में you buy 4 lots. अच्छा, first lot में आपको loss हो गया. Second में डर के करेंगे. Reduce कर देंगे quantity. Now tell me, are the trade 1 and trade 2 and trade 3 are dependent or independent events? They are independent events. Trade 2 does not know that trade 1 you are in loss or profit. It is your mind which brings a connection between trade and 1 trade and trade 2. Trade 1 में profit हुआ, trade 2 में profit हुआ, trade 3 में confidence बढ़ा, but trade 3 तो totally different है, independent event है. Trade 3 को थोड़ी पता है कि trade 2 में profit था और trade 1 में profit था. It is your mind which brings a connection between trades 1 and 2. Both are different trades. So अब वो confidence और डर कहां से आया? वो emotion से आया आपको. So what we are telling is how to classify the emotions into categories and identify. See, this you will master over a period of time, and maybe you can send a message to me through Mr. Asit. What is your emotion and what is the setup statement? The key part is to identify the emotion, right emotion, create a right setup statement, and then tap it. If you are able to classify the emotion perfectly, then the tapping would be miraculous. But if you are classifying it wrongly, then it would be it won't give you the desired results. How do we know what is our surge level? आप अभी सोचिए कोई इवेंट जिसमें आप हर्ट हुए हो, आप क्या लेवल सोचते हैं, सपोज 10 है वो, आप 2 राउंड टैप करिए, फिर उस इवेंट को सोचिए, अब वो आपको डिस्टर्ब करता है, उसी लेवल पे रखता है तो वो 10 ही है, थोड़ा कम करता है 9 आया, 2 राउंड और टैप करिए, फिर सोचिए उस इवेंट को, यू हैव टू रिलीव दैट इवेंट in your mind and then analyze whether what is the amount of disturbance it is giving to your mind. If it is coming down, keep on tapping. There will come a time when that event will stop disturbing you. How or when I will know that I process the emotion after tapping? So when it doesn't affect you. पहले आपको सपोज मेरे से गुस्सा आता था, अब आपने टैप किया टैप किया टैप किया, अब मेरे बारे में सोचते आपको गुस्सा नहीं आता, बस दैट इज कम टू जीरो. हाउ नॉट टू बिकम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट व्हेन थिंग्स आर गोइंग वेल? वेल, दिस इज अ वेरी जनरलिस्टिक थिंग. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज, पहला तो आपका सिस्टम विल प्ले अ पार्ट कि वेदर हाउ डू यू स्केल अप, हाउ डू यू पिरामिड. बट बेसिकली जैसे आपको ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट का इफेक्ट क्या होता है कि यू बिकम वेरी यूफोरिक and you start trading beyond your permissible limits. So what happens is when you get overconfident, you have to assess whether वो एक थोड़ा मनी मैनेजमेंट का टेक्निक होगा कि आप whether your money management allows you to put in more trades or not. तो सिस्टम का पार्ट बना लेंगे तो क्या, even though you are overconfident, you won't increase your lot size or allocation in a haphazard fashion. You will increase in a predetermined fashion. How many repetitions for one emotion? One emotion can get you can process it within 2 rounds of tapping also. But if they are very deep rooted emotions, they might take more rounds of tapping to do it. I come early with profits, how to avoid? Actually, early with profits is what? It is anxiety. It is fear of losing money. तो आपको वहां fear है कि आया हुआ पैसा निकल है, ये anxiety हो रही है. There are more techniques which we can do for overcoming early with profits. There is a sense of detachment. There is a specific exercise in one of the next sessions. I'll help you how to overcome booking early profits. So there is a technique which I'll help you out. We'll do a lot more techniques in the next few sessions. So please see that you attend it and take advantage of that. I have a few specific techniques to really directly go to your subconscious, you take advantage of your subconscious mind, use talent. If you are a winning streak but there's a fear the next trade will be lost, how to keep the winning streak going on without negative mentally. तो बेसिकली क्या है कि आपको ये फियर हो रहा है कि अगला ट्रेड लॉस में हो जाएगा, आप वो फियर टैप करिए. हाउ टू कंट्रोल अवरसेल्व्स ऑन डूइंग द सेम मिस्टेक्स रिपीटेडली. ये तो थोड़ा बहुत तो ये है कि इसमें आपको एक सिस्टम तो बनाना पड़ेगा कि mistake second time is not a mistake, it's a blunder. Well, how does this help you to transform, and can give you some example? See, one of the things it did me, one is fear of missing out मेरा मिक्स हो गया है. अब मैं मार्केट को एक बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी की तरह देखता हूं कि जहां where I'll have 1000 opportunities. So if I miss out an opportunity, it is not the end of the world. So I trade any one loss in a trade or one missing out opportunity doesn't give me a regret because I just feel it is one more opportunity. आगे और 1000 opportunities आएंगे मार्केट में, तो opportunities are available day in day out. So वो fear of missing out का, this is one has helped me. The second thing is when you are process your emotions, you come into a market with a relaxed stage, with a small huge amount of confidence, and your conviction goes up. And there are certain things which you will experience when you do it, can't be told. So you do this process 10 days, 15 days, keep on doing it, make it as a habit of your daily routine, and see what transformation it brings to you. A setup gave 4 back-to-back, decided not to trade for some time. Next day gave it 5 returns, covered losses, gave new money, but I didn't trade out. I told you, no, if you do 5 trades, trade 1 is profit, trade 1 is loss, trade 2 is loss, trade 3 is loss, trade 4 is loss. So 4th, 5th में क्या करते हो आप? करते नहीं हो. But how are trade 1, 2, 3 and 4 are they are not dependent events, they are independent events. Trade 4 does not know that trade 3 was a profit or trade 2 was a loss. It's your mind which brings in a connecting link between trade 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have, आप जिस दिन आपने अपने माइंड को ट्रेन कर लिया कि नेक्स्ट ट्रेड पिछले ट्रेड से कोई लिंक नहीं है, दैट इज द डे व्हेन यू आर मेंटली एक्सेल्ड एज अ गुड ट्रेडर. अदरवाइज क्या होगा, वेन एवर यू गो इन टू पुट इन अ ट्रेड, द प्रीवियस ट्रेड का प्रॉफिट और लॉस अफेक्ट्स यू. प्रॉफिट होता है तो बड़ा ट्रेड करेंगे, लॉस होगा तो कम ट्रेड करेंगे, बट पिछले ट्रेड का तो कोई लिंक ही नहीं है उससे. इनफैक्ट क्या होता है, हिस्टोरिकली लॉ ऑफ एवरेजेस वर्क, इफ यू डू 4 long trades or 5 wrong trades in a row, law of averages, the fifth or sixth has to be right, because it can't happen that 100 trades go in a wrong, loss. So actually, the day your mind is able to segregate that trade 1, 2, 3, 4 are independent events, they are not dependent events, that is the day you can say yourself that you're mentally transformed as a trader. How many days to do? See, it's an ongoing exercise. You catch an issue, usko tap kariye, list down, there will be a lot of issues, keep on doing it, make it as a habit. See, what I mean is, whenever you, instead of having a goal, make a process. Amateur people have goals, professional people have processes. Suppose you have to, for example, you want to do your trading, improve your trading, have a routine, fix to that routine 365 days a year. ओवर अ पीरियड वो आप प्रोसेस को फॉलो करेंगे. जैसे आपने डिसाइड किया आपको 10 किलो वेट कम करना है, तो 10 किलो पे फोकस मत करिए, 1 किलोमीटर वॉकिंग पे फोकस करिए, डेली 1 किलोमीटर वॉक करिए. सो दैट इज फोकसिंग ऑन द प्रोसेस इंस्टेड ऑफ फोकसिंग ऑन द सिस्टम. Yes, the same statement can be done in Hindi also. I'll share that in thing with you. Again, the trades that I take are mostly loss making, and those trades that I don't give good returns. How to handle this? As I told you, these are independent events. You don't have to link up the profit one trade with the previous trade. Every trade is a new trade. The trade doesn't know what was the previous trade. See, in case I had a stop loss, but then trade comes back to profit, then I regret. I told you regret is an emotion. Tap out this emotion. So once you keep on tapping your regret, you will realize that once you are able to process these emotions, you are able to do your next trade with a lot more confidence. I am hesitant to cut the stop losses. क्या fear है? लॉस होगा तो क्या अगला फिर ट्रेड मिलेगा ना. दिस नॉट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. आपको हर ट्रेड को ये मान के चलना है कि ये 1000 ट्रेड में एक ट्रेड है, तो आपको लगेगा अभी और बहुत सारे ट्रेड मिलेंगे, ये एक लॉस हो गया तो अगला प्रॉफिट आएगा. You can go to emofree.com, emofree.com. You'll get a lot of material on this emotional tapping. I think do it in Hindi. Mother tongue, I really don't know, but I have been doing in English. Yes, people have done in Hindi. Those who can't do it in English, but Hindi also does equally better. I think don't fix up a target कि इससे मैं 10 लाख बनाऊंगा या 1 करोड़ बनाऊंगा. This is a process. आप डे वन पे नहीं डिसाइड कर सकते कि 10 लाख बनाएंगे, तो वो आप एक प्रोसेस रखिए, प्रोसेस को फॉलो करिए. प्रॉफिट्स आर बाय प्रोडक्ट्स. द डे यू कम टू अ मेंटालिटी कि यू डू योर ट्रेड्स राइटली, फॉलो प्रोसेसेस, फॉलो स्टॉप लॉसेस, देन profits are a byproduct of the trade. Don't make profits as a main product. Think of profits as a byproduct of your process. Yeah, I can give you the slides of today's webinar. वो आपने I'll write the I've written the site. You can go to this. Feel nervous after losing day. Tap off your nervousness. Nervousness is a feeling. I think this, what will be the first setup statement when one is suffering from? I think this is a medical issue. Here you can't have a solution for this. But yes, because of this, whether you are feeling irritated, yes, that's a feeling. If you are irritated because you have to frequently visit, then that is a feeling. So at least you can tap out that irritation. So at least you won't feel embarrassing when you go there, because you are tapping out that irritation. I've written the site's name again. See, we'll talk of self-sabotage in the next webinar. Self-sabotage is a very serious subject. What you have done, how do I deal with guilty about easy money? So sometimes I do things to sabotage myself that I think recklessly. We'll do a lot of work on self-sabotage next time. I have typed it again. I can just spell it out. www.emofree, emofree.com, emofree. So you have to tackle each emotion separately. Multiple emotions आप एक साथ tackle नहीं कर सकते. First list down all your list of emotions and keep on tackling it one by one.
Sir,
Hello?
I had a question. Hello.
Yeah, I think I don't have any more questions. I think maybe I can go previously. I can see answer the ones which are, because the questions kept on coming very fast.
Sir, I had a small query.
Yeah.
How exactly one would kind of reduce the intensity, and what if those emotions? So if you're not having that intensity, you would have that feeling of you're not doing enough, and it's just almost like I'm talking about myself. There are times I felt key. Like it's like I'm running on a treadmill since last maybe a few years.
Okay.
And I forgot to switch off the treadmill and still running.
Okay.
And there could be a sense of mental fatigue, but at the same time, it is already digested it. Okay, fine. This is how it is going to be.
Okay.
So there is the inertia. There is a deep desire to kind of reduce that intensity.
So can I put it this way, like you're being impatient?
No, not really.
Maybe want to things too fast.
I don't know. I would not say impatient, but at the same time, it's just like too many things. You just.
Yeah, I think. See, what we'll do is we'll cover a few techniques in the next webinars to overcome a few problems like self-sabotage and these things. A little bit of breathing techniques, little bit of visualization techniques. So I'll tell you a few more techniques in which you can very immediately access. You have a solution for these problems.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
And because now almost we're at the end of the session, the next session will start with this. We have a few practice rounds, and then maybe I can give you a few techniques that one can use it on a day-to-day basis before the market starts, so that one is in a better frame of mind to do it.
Yeah, great. That will be nice. Would you have any other slides to cover? You want to take more
I think there are a lot of things to cover, but then we'll do it in the other thing. But one thing what I would do is, during the whole trading time, keep a clock of every 30 minutes, put an alarm. Just do a simple thing. Inhale for 4 rounds. Then hold for 4 rounds. And then exhale 4 rounds. So what happens is we are so stressed out that even we forget breathing in the right fashion. So whenever we breathe in this way, a lot of oxygen goes to our brain and our mind calms down. during 9:15 to 3:30, we need a calm mind to execute our trades. So the best way is lot of miraculous power lies in our body, the way we breathe. So easiest exercise to remain calm during a very stressful situation, which is a very stressful period from 9:15 to 3:30, is to focus on breathing. Now, what happens is we can't even focus because so busy with our trades, looking at the rates, looking at the option contracts, expiry timings and everything. So you just put an alarm for every half an hour. It will just take 30 seconds. 4 times inhale, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. 30 seconds. And you can still keep on seeing the screen and still keep on doing it. So when you have this tendency to do deep breathing, whether you see pranayam or art of living Ravi Shankar or any of those Ramdev Baba techniques or any of the spiritual old techniques, everything starts from breathing and ends with breathing. So easiest way to have a calm mind, a peaceful and a stable mind during trading hours, we just do this: inhale, hold, exhale for 4 rounds. Inhale 4 rounds. Inhale, count till 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Every half an hour, if we do this breathing, be focused on the breathing and do a deep breathing, then it will help us stay calm and stable during the things are going as fast they should. But it is we can calm our mind and we have to make a conscious effort to do it. The easiest conscious effort to do is have an alarm set after every half an hour. There are apps available for that. So every half an hour you get a tring message and immediately just inhale for 4 rounds, exhale for hold for 4 rounds and exhale for 4 rounds. This simple breathing technique, you will be voluntarily trying to reach a calm state of mind. This is one active voluntary technique what you can do during market hours. But believe me, the 4 parts, when I say installing useful beliefs, removing non-useful beliefs, processing stuck emotions, removing conflicts, these are the 4 cornerstones for the total mental transformation that needs to be done, of which the easiest and the most empowering tool is that processing emotions. So from here to the next week or next fortnight, whenever we do the next webinar, everyone should try to master this technique. And next, because if we are in the 4 sessions, if all these people attend, they'll be able to at least master one technique to process emotions. So 75% of your problems, you are empowered to solve yourself. And today, if you see, the whole work is not a normal intelligence, it is emotional intelligence. It is not the profit which you make or the loss which you make disturbs you. It is a comparison with someone else, the relative profit or the relative loss. Suppose you make a profit today, you are very happy. Suddenly at the end of the day, you realize your neighbor has made or your other fellow trader has more profit, you begin disturbed. Or initially you are very disappointed after booking a loss at 10:30, and by 3:30 you are very happy because market has fallen 1,000 points and you exited with a loss of lakh of rupees, and had you not done, you would, there would have been a loss of 5 lakh rupees. So relatively, after the loss of lakh rupees, you are still happy. And in scenarios where you booked a lakh of profit, you are very unhappy because the other traders have made 2 lakhs of profit or you could have made 4 lakhs of profit. So it is the relative comparison with what you could have done brings you that, takes away the joy of profit, or basically enhances the pain that you had with the loss. So loss profit तो उतना ही रहा, उसको आपने माइंड ने आपके 10x मल्टीप्लाई करके लिए कांस्टेंट पेन दिया आपको. If you see any, read Market Wizard, New Market Wizard, Stock Market Wizard, Hedge Market Wizards, Hedge Fund Market Wizards, all successful traders having billions and dollars, handling money, ultimately they come down to what? Everyone, 80% is mindset, 70% is psychology. कोई 70 बोलता है, कोई 60 बोलता है, कोई 90 बोलता है. Everything is to do with psychology only. आप अपने clients को आपने एक system सिखाया. All the 500 clients are not making the same kind of money. You give them the same kind of capital, you give them the same kind of strategy, you give them the same kind of rules, but still someone will be at a huge loss, someone will be at a huge profit, someone will be a minor loss. All the P&L figures will not be the same. Because the difference between analysis and action, it is not a system or a strategy, it is the execution.
Right.
And most of the 99% of traders को मजा system बताओ, strategy बताओ, indicator बताओ, tip दो, बस काम तो अपने आप पे करना है. टिप तो राकेश झुंझुन वाला खुला मार्केट में खुला के चलाता था, 25 रुपए टाइटन ले लो. Or maybe in steel stocks 2 years back when he was steel is at a super cycle, all steel stocks multiplied 7 times, 8 times. Or COVID, he was virtually crying shouting in front of everyone, this is the best time to buy stocks in the market. What is the worst can happen? मर जाओगे तो फिर क्या stocks ऊपर लेके जाओगे? But उस वक्त क्या, fear was so dominant in everyone's mind, no one could buy. Stocks were available, technical patterns were showing that the bottom has been made, the oscillator was signaling a rise, even though one could not visualize कि कितना rise होगा. Fundamentals were a screaming buy. The best successful person of Indian stock market was on TV every third day on every second channel, telling very clearly, good buy, good time to buy, good time to buy. If you don't buy now, when will you buy? Basant Maheshwari was doing the same thing. But how many people could go and buy? डर था. So it is, I mean, there is a huge misconception कि मेरे को stock बता दो और मैं पैसा बना लूं. Stock तो टीवी पे डे इन डे आउट हर ट्रेडर हर एनालिस्ट 15 मिनट में आता है, एक शेयर बता के चला जाता है. उसमें से आप 2 या 3 चुन लो तो शेयर्स तो पता ही है सबको. लिस्ट ऑफ टॉप 15 स्टॉक सबको पता है, whether it is HDFC Bank or Asian Paints or Bajaj Finance, they're all good stocks. वो तो हमारा माइंड उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने में प्रॉब्लम करता है. इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए थोड़ा एक कम डिग्री का प्रॉब्लम है, ट्रेडर्स के लिए तो बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. सो द डे यू मास्टर योर माइंडसेट, in fact the day you start feeling happy when you have booked a loss because you have followed your rules, and the day you have booked profit you are unhappy because you have not followed your rules, is the day you have become a real psychologically strong trader. You have made huge amount of profit but you did not follow your rules, or you have booked a huge loss but following your rules. As long as you follow your rules, follow your setup, follow your strategy, you should not feel guilt, iota of guilt if you make a loss. Because क्या होगा, आप यदि 1000 ट्रेड का अपना पास्ट रिकॉर्ड देखें, 1000 में there could be 400 losers, even 500 losers or 600 losers, because successful traders have a track record of 30 to 35%. But the good part is the risk reward ratio is a higher 1:3, 1:4. So even with a 30% success rate with the 1:3 risk reward ratio, you'll make money. So the real success, the real goal is to master your mindset. And ये थोड़ा सा initial traders को नहीं आएगा, 2 साल 4 साल 5 साल के बाद everyone will focus only on mindset. Because systems तो आपने, whether you can do you stock your search through oscillators or averages or patterns or basically Elliott wave or candlesticks or RSI, everyone reaches the same level, same goal. किसी में बाई सिग्नल थोड़ा सा पहले आएगा, किसी में बाई सिग्नल थोड़ा सा बाद आएगा, किसी का प्रॉफिट थोड़ा सा अर्ली होगा, ओवर यदि आप इवन आउट हो जाएगा. इफ यू टेक आउट एनी सिस्टम, सिस्टम ए और सिस्टम बी, द डिफरेंस इज एग्जीक्यूशन, द डिफरेंस इज नॉट द सिस्टम. सडनली 5 गुड ट्रेड्स एंड एलोकेशन बढ़ जाएगी, 5 बैड ट्रेड 6 ट्रेड करना छोड़ देंगे. इवन सिस्टम ट्रेडर्स, सक्सेसफुल सिस्टम ट्रेडर्स, दे हैव अ टेंडेंसी टू ओवरराइड देयर सिस्टम्स. So I personally feel every good trader or investor should work on himself.
So let's I think we can conclude the session for today. I think there have been a lot of takeaways, to be honest. Your mental wording phrase is going to be tattooed in my brain for a long time. That's quite a good one. I think excellent session. I think we'll connect offline to finalize when exactly we'll do the session again.
Perfect.
And thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. I'm sure everybody has kind of learned something quite different, quite kind of out of the box thinking kind of setups and all. So great. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
I'll connect with you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Take care.
Okay.
Yep. Bye-bye.